Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're someone who is in a fat loss phase and you're only weighing yourself once a week, let me tell you why you should increase your frequency to at least twice a week. Here are my top 3 reasons why you should increase your frequency of measurement. First, when you're weighing yourself just once a week, you only have 4 data points for the month, and that is not much information to go by to know whether you're on the right track. Obviously, weight can go down in a month's time. Just by increasing your frequency to just twice a week, we have 8 data points, and that's going to allow you to see whether you're tracking in the right direction with a bit more detail. I'm going to shoot up my client's graph here. We've got measurements starting from the 1st of January all the way to now, which is 10 weeks later, and we have a total of 21 measurements, and you can see there are peaks and troughs in her weight, and that is completely fine. But we see a more detailed image of where she's heading with her weight, and you can see a nice downward trajectory on her weight, but there are ups and downs and even some areas where she stagnates. And that can be quite concerning if you've put in all that hard effort and you haven't got the result that you've wanted. But when we measure with a bit more frequency, we can see that some days are just going to be higher than other days. And there are many factors that can create fluctuations in weight. One of them being fluid retention. As my client describes, her weekends are more sedentary and she eats food that aren't normally in her diet. She's going to retain a bit more water weight. And that doesn't mean that she's gained a kilo of fat or 500 grams of fat. It could just be more fluid retention. During the week, she's much more active, she's training, her diet's on point as well, and that means water retention is going to be a lot less, so you get a low reading. And we usually get a reading from the start of the week and the end of the week to see what the differences are. And overall, throughout the 10 weeks, you can see her weight is going down. And this is a beautiful graph. It's a nice illustration of what weight can be like when it comes to fat loss. So it's very volatile. Number 2, having more data allows you to make more calculated adjustments. And if you don't have much to go off, you don't know what the right adjustments can be. We might need to taper down on these kind of activities or this kind of food. Lastly, desensitization. The more you do things, the more it becomes normal and the less scary or shocking it gets. People who weigh themselves once a week or never at all, it's always going to be a shock when you look at that measurement. It can be a shock when it goes down, it can be a shock when it goes up, and it can even be a shock when it does nothing at all. And most of the time we are hyper focused on weight. Weighing yourself becomes like a big event and everything rides on it. We tend to be very emotional when it comes to the weight measurement, and in the long run that's not a productive way to look at it, because you're most likely going to dread every time you go on the scales. If you do it more often, it's going to become more normalized and you're going to be desensitized to the actual event. And this is going to be positive, because at the end of the day, your weight is just data. It's just information to help you guide you into the right direction of your goals. I want to illustrate how volatile weight can be. I've weighed myself before and after training, which is a span of 45 minutes to an hour, and I could have weight fluctuations of up to 1 to 2 kilos. My body fat hasn't changed at all, and my weight has gone down 1 to 2 kilos. So that's pretty drastic. As you can see from my client's graph, it took her 10 weeks to lose 4 kilos. The reality is fat loss is really slow. Unless you're fasting for extended amounts of time, fat loss is a slow process, and just embrace it, because over time that's going to teach you a lesson, the lesson that weight doesn't show you the big picture, and it is a slow process. Weight goes up, weight goes down. So those are the top 3 reasons why you should weigh yourself more. Let me give you my strategy of how I would approach your weight measurements in regards to making progress in fat loss. Don't just use weight measurement as the #1 goal or target in your progress. Use another measurement. What I like to do is circumference measurements around certain limbs or certain body parts. The one I like to use is circumference around your belly button. This is where most people like to lose body fat, and it's a big telltale sign of whether you're going in the right direction, regardless of whether your body weight is shifting up or down. And I'm gonna flick a graph of my client's progress over the 10 weeks. And as you can see, her circumference measurements have gone dramatically down. So she started at 114.5 centimeters all the way down to 107 centimeters. That is a loss of 7.5 centimeters on her belly button measurements. Her weight might not have shifted as much as she'd like, but that's a drastic decrease in overall size in that problem area. So make sure you have another measurement to go off. That will give you a bigger picture to what's really happening. Another goal I like to have is a performance goal, and recording the weight that you lift at the gym or performance measurement of your run. And that's going to allow me to determine whether you're keeping muscle mass, you're keeping performance, and whether your body composition has changed as well. So if you're losing centimeters around the waist and you're gaining strength in the gym, but your weight hasn't really moved or it's gone up, most likely you have a better body composition than before. So you would have gained muscle mass and lost body fat, or you would have retained muscle mass and lost body fat. So just a short little video for you guys, and those are my top 3 reasons why you should weigh yourself more frequently, and my 2 strategies of combining weight results with other performance measures. If you're interested in fat loss, check out my fasting videos over here. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like, comment down below how often you weigh, or if you even care about it at all, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you guys in the next video.